it's Shawnee. Welcome back. So this is my second collab video over the past 2 weeks with Jan Van and Erica Conger. We are doing a collab video about vacations. So our first collab was a couple of days ago and maybe a week ago, and we did a color tag where Erica came up with all these questions about different favorite color, least favorite, what color do you wear the most, things like that. And then we had to do a look that featured 2 shades that we picked for one another. So this video is about vacations, about vacations. And again, Erica and that beautiful mind of hers came up with some questions that we are to answer as we do a look. Now the look is supposed to be based on a picture that you took during a vacation that you really liked. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I will start my eyes as I start the questions. I'm going to use the paint base from Colored Rain. This is in the shade White. Let me just get a brush to put this on. Maybe. Okay. So the first question is, where is a place you've always wanted to travel? I think it would be Bali. Well, Bali or Spain? Bali, because I just think it's so beautiful from what I see. I haven't been there to really know. But I don't think I'd be disappointed. And just from what I've seen, the water looks so crystal clear. And isn't that the place where you get your own little hut and you have someone who is attending to your needs? But I also think that's the place where that lady just tried to hire a hitman to off her husband. That doesn't say anything about Bali though. That's just information to know. And Spain is just somewhere I've always wanted to go. Mainly because I feel for a while I was really immersed in Spanish and Hispanic and Latinx culture, and I was a Spanish minor in college and different things, and to this day I continue to take Spanish lessons and stuff. And even when I worked at a university, I was one of those people that used tuition remission to take Spanish classes during the summer because I had nothing better to do than to be a huge nerd. So yeah, those are the 2 places I would love to go. Honestly, I'd love to go anywhere because I haven't really been anywhere. What's the furthest destination from home you've ever traveled? I think that would have to be, traveling on the cruise I took a couple of years ago. We went to Bahamas, Jamaica, Cayman Islands. So that's probably the furthest that I've gone. And it was also the first cruise I've ever taken, and I would do it again. I would go on a cruise again for sure. So I'm going to use the Viseart Sultry Muse palette. And how often during the year do you take a vacation? Now I feel I need to give you some caveats, okay? I'm gonna go in with this shade here. So I was in school from the age of 3 to the age of 29. I didn't take any breaks. I went from preschool all the way through PhD. I didn't even take a break between undergrad and PhD. I went straight from undergrad. I think I graduated in May or June, and I started my PhD program in August. So I've never really taken a break, and with that, I haven't taken many vacations. I actually don't know that I've taken any vacations. There was the cruise, and then honestly, since I've lived away from my family, in college, I was only an hour away from them. But then when I moved to grad school, I was a plane ride away, you know? And from then, I've just gotten further and further away from the West Coast. So vacations for me have often been just going home to see my family. And that has been my vacation. So I don't really count that as a vacation very much because it feels I'd be going home for my birthday or for Christmas or some other holiday. It didn't really feel like a vacation. So I can't say that I've really had a real vacation outside of that cruise. And was that a vacation? Yeah, I'm super lame, y'all. But I'm really trying to push myself to do more vacations because I need to. Like, I was in school until I was 29, and then I was working on my career. Now I feel like I'm at a place where I'm relatively stable. The only thing is having my own business. If I don't work, I don't get paid. So I don't have paid vacation time. So that also makes it a little harder for me. Yeah. So that was the how often during the year do you take a vacation? Like, not very often. Do you prefer to travel, or would you rather have a staycation? I mean, I have the most experience with staycations, but I would like to travel more. But I think it would have to be like luxurious travel, you know? Like, I don't like being crammed into a little tiny plane. I mean, the planes aren't tiny, the seats are tiny. That's uncomfortable. But there was one instance of taking first class. Girl, I feel like I can't go back. Now I can't afford first class, but I don't know if I can go back to like the regular old people seats. It was a treat to myself, and I'm like, who else gonna do it? Who else gonna buy me a first class ticket? So let me go ahead and do it. And I loved it. Well, going there, I loved it. Going back, it felt like it was like real janky first class. It didn't feel like first class. It felt like business class. Not that that's bad, but you all know what I mean. Like, having that experience, you're like, I can't go back. I can't go back to that. But I would love to travel somewhere. But if it was like traveling to somewhere that I want to go versus like a little hop, skip, and a jump kind of trip in first class, I would travel where I wanted to go, you know? So I think I prefer traveling somewhere over staycations, because sometimes staycations just turn into stay in bed, and that's not vacationing, right? So I would want to go somewhere. But I'm going to go in with this Viseart Mattes palette as we go on to the next question. What is the most fun vacation you've ever experienced? Where did you go and who with? I think I'll go into this shade first. Now, this is probably one of those times where I went home to LA for my birthday. And it was my birthday from like, was it like 5 years ago? This is actually the dress I wore. And we had a party for my birthday. It was sort of like a, you know, we haven't seen you in a while. Let's have a little get together, and also happy birthday. And it was just so much fun. Like, everybody brought me like a bottle of champagne. So I was drinking like a fish, and then we were dancing, and it was so funny because like after a while I got tired. Everybody else got tired, but my parents were still going. And this is a party at our house. We would often have like little get-togethers there, you know. My parents were still going deep into the night. Girl, I was like, y'all, I'm not young and spry like y'all do apparently. I was like, I'm going home. I went to my sister's house to sleep. But it was so much fun. I got to see people I haven't seen in so long. Like, two of my best friends from like kindergarten, and like family friends I hadn't seen in a long time. My godmother, just like all of these people came to celebrate, and it was amazing. My mom cooked all this food, and all of the food that I love. It was just so fun. It was so fun. There's a video of me like drunkenly laughing literally on the ground. Oh my god. Here is the next shade I'm gonna go into. Let me think about that one. I'm gonna have to just give me a moment. Okay, so I think I thought of one. So my family is like one of the few of our family that if the only, that lives on the West Coast. A lot of people live in the Caribbean or on the East Coast. So, well, one thing was there are like 6 or 7 of us. So anytime we had to go somewhere, it was relatively expensive. And again, I didn't grow up with much money. But there was one time where we all managed to go to New York. And this was when my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, was alive. And I don't even remember how old I was. I was pretty young though. And it was when she was like still moving around and stuff. And every time we came home to my grandmother's house, there was food. Like, every time. It was almost like you wanted to go out just to come back in and get some food from her. And it was just like, just homemade stuff, just Caribbean food, just so, so good, y'all. It was just like, it was really nice. It was really nice. And I think that was the last... that was like the last trip I had there where she was not declining in health, you know? So it was, I don't even know why we went. I don't, no, it wasn't that. So I'm not even sure, but I just remember always coming inside and Granny having food. It was so much fun. I was still like too young to really do anything, but it was just it was a really nice time. I enjoyed myself. Okay. You've won a vacation with 3 options to choose from: the beach, the mountains, or on a cruise. I mean, right away, I know I'm not going up in the mountains. There is absolutely no reason for me to be up in somebody's mountain. Nope, I don't even know why. I don't even know why. Y'all know there are like animals and stuff up there. And recently these animals, they've been coming for us humans. So I want to stay out of their space. Yeah, I'm going to just leave that alone. Now, I think I've only been on 1 cruise, but I do think a cruise could be fun going on another one. And then you stop off, like you port at various beaches. So I feel like I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? I could do a cruise that stops at the beach. I think that's what I would do. If not, I would just do the beach. But it has to be a good beach, okay? Like, it has to be a real beach. I've gone to some beaches out here in the Maryland, Virginia area, and I'm like, this is not a beach. What is this? This is somebody just threw a bowl of sand on the sidewalk. Ain't no beach. So, yes, I think we'll take a cruise that stops at beaches. Dude, this tag is tearing me up. Can I pull it out? How do you pack for a vacation? Do you take too much, take too little, or just right? Hands down, I take too much all the time. I take too much, and then if I try to take less, I'm always upset that I didn't bring more. Like, and sometimes it's ridiculous. Like, you're not going to need a ball gown when you're going to the beach, right? But you also never know. You never know if all of a sudden someone invites you to a ball. But I take too much, and I also have a process of packing that's ridiculous. Like, I will pack everything, right? I'll pack everything, and then I will unpack the whole bag. And I'll take out like a t-shirt or something, like, I don't need this. And then I'll pack everything again. And sometimes there's another round. There's another round where I take everything out and then I pack it again. And it's not that I'm trying to make things fit better or anything. It's literally because I'm like continuing to add things. It also depends on the time of year that I'm packing, and like going from the East Coast to West Coast, also you have to remember there's like a time change and there's a weather change, right? So a lot of times if I was like going to if I was going to LA for like Christmas or something. It's freezing up over here on the East Coast, right? It's a cool like 75, 60 degrees over on the West Coast. And so I have to pack for that, but also pack for like coming back and stuff. And so this is my answer, and I am sticking to it, okay? So that is why I pack too much. And I just think you always need options. You just never know. I feel like this last trip, I didn't pack enough. I should have packed more. But I was trying to be like, let me pack less and all that stuff. And then when I got there, I was like, you know what? I wish I would have brought them 3 pairs of shorts. So yeah, I wouldn't even call it too much. I pack options. If given the choice to fly, take a train, or drive your own car to a vacation destination, what would you choose and why? You know, all of those options aren't bad. I think it would really depend on the distance. Like, yeah, it would depend on the distance. For some things, like I've never done like a cross-country, no. The furthest I've driven was from Missouri to Maryland. And that was like moving myself here. Like, from what I can recall, it wasn't terrible, except was it Chicago with all the winding and the mountains and stuff? I don't even know, child, but I was like, girl, no. So that's the furthest I think I've driven. But I probably would have flown if I could. We were just, I had to take a moving truck or van or whatever. But I think that flying probably is, of course, the fastest, but I would like to fly in first class. And then I've taken the train on short trips to like New York, and I've enjoyed that. And then I've driven to like New York or Virginia and things like, just like on this side. So I really think it depends on the distance and like the ease of the drive, or the ease of transportation stuff. So I guess all 3. Alright. Where is a vacation destination that you feel the most at home? I mean, that has to be home. Literally going home. I just feel, I don't know, it's home. I feel at home when I'm at home. Just all these memories. There's a familiarity of everything. Pretty much all the people I like love live in LA. I mean, I've of course started have been, you know, living my life here for several years at this point. But home is always home, you know? Home is where the heart is. There was one time where I went home, and my mom always tries to like cook me the food that I like. I'm special. And it's because I'm the only one that literally doesn't live 20 minutes from my parents. And I remember I like rented a car and everything. So I drove to my parents' house. Like I got off the plane. I think I stayed in a hotel maybe. Cause I was trying to make it like a vacation, and I took a shower, and then I just like immediately went to my parents' house, and I pulled into the driveway, Lord, and I could smell from the window of the car, I could smell the curry chicken. And if you have never, ever had curry chicken made by a Guyanese person, girl, whew, if I had to pick a last meal, it would be my mother's curry, probably her or my dad's peas and rice, and some roti made by a Trinidadian. Actually, I would take some Jamaican peas and rice. So Guyanese curry, Jamaican peas and rice, Trinidadian roti. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, but child, whoo, girl, that is a meal. That is, oh, Lord. Okay, let me No, let me do one more and then I will finish everything and come back. Are you a roughing it type of traveler, or do you prefer the 5-star hotel type of traveling experience? Come on. Even if you don't know me, by the time you've gotten to this question with me on this video, you can answer that one. Child, I'm not roughing it nowhere, okay? My childhood was rough enough. I don't need to ever rough anything again. What? No. I don't know that I've ever roughed it on a vacation. Like, no. I am 5-star. Not like I can't necessarily afford 5-star all the time, but I can at least do a 3.5 or a 4-star, okay? But I am not roughing it, girl. No. No, thank you. No, thank you, sir. Yeah. Y'all already know. Even though you could have guessed that. But tell me if you're a roughing it person. Like, what is that like? What is that like for you? Well, give me some insight. What makes you prefer it as your choice of, like, of living? Girl, I'm from South Central. I roughed it enough. We roughed it enough. Give me that 5-star treatment, honey. Okay, let me finish everything up, and then I will come back and answer the last 2 questions. Be right back. All right, last 2 questions. Is it more fun to travel with friends or family? I think maybe family, especially as we're all getting older. Yeah, I think it's nice to spend time with family. And I think my family knows how I am. Like, we each know how the other is. And so it's not weird when I go off in a room by myself and close the door just because I need some, like, time and some quiet. Like, people aren't offended by that. They're just like, she needs her space right now. And so I really appreciate that, like, my family knows me to the point where they just know my moods and things like that. I think with friends, it can also be fun just to, like, let loose and be crazy, but honestly, I can do that with my family too. So I think I will say family. And the last question is, where is the next place you're planning on going for vacation? I'm not sure. I do know with whom I want to go, and that is with G, the new boo. I would go down the street with him. I don't know. I just really enjoy spending time with him. So hopefully we can take a vacation together soon. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about it. Okay, let's put a little something in the inner corner. And then I gotta go. Just putting a little something. Can barely see it, but that's okay. I'll bring it down a little bit, maybe. All right, whatever, y'all. I think that is it. Here is the finished look. I am wearing the dress I wore at the birthday I had the most fun at. I'm also wearing these earrings from Jan. I think they look like steel drums. I don't think either of us knows if they were made such a way, but she thought of me when she saw these because they look like steel drums, and I was like, these look like steel drums. So these are my gift from Jan for yet another birthday that I had. And yeah, here's the look. Similar to what I did on this birthday, but I sweat it all off because I was dancing and drinking champagne. So be sure to go over to Jan and Erica, their channels, see what answers they came up with. They're probably more exciting than mine because I'm a little lame and haven't been on many vacations. Let me know, have you been on many vacations, like, or not? I want to know where you've been, best place you've been, places that I shouldn't go. That would be great to know because I need to get out there a little bit more. I hope that some of this was helpful. I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Make sure to give that thumbs up and like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.